Hi everybody, this is Lara Hammock from the Marble Jar channel, and in today's video I'll share our new anniversary ritual, the annual marriage performance review. So my husband and I just celebrated our 20th year anniversary. We are not big gift givers, nor are we people who have extensive rituals for big events or anniversaries. March is actually a great getaway month, so we used to travel for anniversaries, but the arrival of children 16 years ago put an end to that. So this year we tried something a little different than usual, but one that I think will become a part of our anniversary every year. We did a State of Our Union evaluation. Okay, I know this sounds a little clinical and therapeutic, but why is it that marriage is the one part of our lives where we don't devote energy to regular review and fine-tuning? After all, we take our cars into the shop for regular maintenance, we have annual performance reviews for our job, and we take our kids, our pets, and our bodies to the doctor once a year to make sure everything's working properly. Why don't we do this for our marriages? So anyone who has been married as long as we have knows that marriages take effort to maintain. We are at a stage of our lives with teenagers where weekends and evenings are hectic with a lot of activities. So like many couples at this stage, much of our interaction concerns logistics. Who's taking which kid where? How are we getting everybody fed? That's like 80% of our conversations. So this is a fact of life, but we both understand that it's important to make time for connection, and I would contend to regularly pop open the hood and make sure that the marriage is running properly. So because this was our 20th, we planned a night away, but you could easily do this over a nice celebration meal. I went looking for a questionnaire that would fit my needs so I didn't have to create one myself. I figured if I created it, it would be skewed towards the things that I find important and therefore unfairly biased. Luckily, I found lots of options online. So we chose to use a questionnaire posted on the Wall Street Journal, but I will provide a couple of links to others if this one isn't your cup of tea. So one quick note, it's important to check your motivations before doing something like this. If you're going into this trying to change your spouse, it's not going to go well. My intentions were more about maintaining my own positive feelings, reminding both of us of our fortune, and determining what I could do better as a spouse and a marital partner. So here's how we conducted this. Before dinner, we both got a glass of wine and we filled out the performance review on our own. It took maybe 20 minutes, and then we reconvened and shared our answers. So my husband, who good-naturedly but skeptically goes along with a lot of my half-baked ideas, actually enjoyed this assessment, enough that he independently told a couple of friends about it. So here's what we liked. First, it's short. It's only 6 questions. This is very, very important to my husband, who thinks that every movie is about 40 minutes too long. Positive. So the questions start out with something positive and they end with something positive. As I said, the point of this is not to beat your spouse up about all the stuff that annoys you. You want to have a positive interaction. Next, strengths. So just like with an employment review, this evaluates the strengths and the weaknesses of your marriage. So I think it does a pretty good job of covering all the most important areas. For strengths, you have friendship, commitment, communication, fun, and partnership. And then for weaknesses, there is quality time, communication, sex, money, and work stress. Measurable objectives. So this is perhaps my favorite part. Each partner has to come up with one thing that you can do to improve as a couple, and it has to be measurable. So to me, that means something tangible. So for example, you can't just say we need to talk more. Instead, a tangible goal would be we need to have a date night in order to talk more once every 2 weeks. Or if that is a little too ambitious, just schedule 2 hours of together time every 2 weeks. So I can tell you the 2 extremely specific goals that my husband and I came up with. Mine is that we watch 2 hours of movies or TVs together per week because my husband has a tendency to fall asleep really early in the evening. His was for me to make 1 meal of comfort food per week because I have a tendency to make a lot of controversial food that promotes conflict around the dinner table. So these are obviously very measurable ways to improve things of concern to each of us. And finally, review date. Just as in a performance review, you set a date to review whether or not you are achieving your objectives. So we're going to meet again to discuss this quarterly. It's going to be a short discussion, but it will help us to renew our commitment towards meeting our marital objectives. So we already have a pretty solid marriage, but show me one marriage that couldn't stand a little improvement. It occurred to me that if your marriage is a little shakier, this could end badly. So perhaps let it end badly. If you are really interested in improving your marriage, feedback from your spouse is extremely important. And it might be an indication that it is time to think about seeing a marriage counselor. This is arguably the most important relationship in your life. Doing whatever you can to improve it is a smart investment in your own mental health and that of your families. Let me know what you think. Comments are always appreciated, and thanks for watching.